Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to see you here again. If you're new, hi and welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and join our English learning family. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about something that you do every single day, your daily routine. Talking about your day is one of the most common topics in English conversation, so by the end of this video, you'll feel much more confident describing what you do from morning to night. Let's imagine it's a regular weekday morning. Your alarm rings. Maybe it's 6:30 or 7 a.m. The sound is annoying, but you know it's time to start your day. You might hit the snooze button once or twice because, let's be honest, getting up right away isn't always easy. After a few minutes, you finally decide to get out of bed. You stretch your arms, yawn, and maybe take a deep breath to wake yourself up. Some people like to start the day with a quick stretch or even a short meditation. You can say, I wake up at 7 and stretch for a few minutes before getting up. Next, you head to the bathroom. You might say, I brush my teeth, wash my face, and take a shower. If you want to add more detail, you can say, I usually take a cold shower to feel more awake, or, I love taking a warm shower in the morning because it relaxes me. These are small details, but they make your speaking sound natural and interesting. After that, it's time to get dressed. You might say, I get dressed for work, or, I put on my school uniform. You can also describe what you usually wear. For example, I usually wear jeans and a t-shirt, or, I like to wear something comfortable when I'm working from home. Adding adjectives like comfortable, clean, stylish, simple, or casual helps you sound more fluent. Then comes one of the best parts of the morning, breakfast. Some people can't start their day without eating something, others prefer just a cup of coffee or tea. You can say, I usually have toast and eggs for breakfast, or, I make a cup of coffee before I start my day. If you want to make your description more vivid, you can say, the smell of coffee in the morning always makes me feel awake and happy. Try to use your 5 senses. Talk about what you see, smell, taste, or hear. For example, I hear birds singing outside while I eat breakfast, or, I watch the news while drinking my tea. These little details make your story come alive. After breakfast, it's time to prepare for the day ahead. Maybe you pack your bag, check your phone, or look at your schedule. You could say, I pack my laptop and lunch before leaving the house, or, I quickly check my messages before I go. Notice how we use the present simple tense for daily routines. I wake up, I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast. This is the most common tense for describing habits or things you do regularly. Let's put it all together with a short example. I usually wake up at 7 a.m. I stretch a little, then I brush my teeth and take a shower. After that, I get dressed and make myself a cup of coffee. Sometimes I eat toast with butter, or if I'm in a hurry, I just grab a banana. I like to listen to some music while I'm getting ready because it gives me energy for the day. See how natural that sounds? It's simple, but it paints a clear picture. You can also add time expressions like in the morning, at 7 o'clock, before work, after breakfast, and so on. For example, in the morning, I like to keep things calm. Before breakfast, I check the weather and plan my outfit. After breakfast, I prepare my things and leave for work around 8. Now that we've talked about your morning routine, let's move on to the next part of your day, going to work or school. This is where most of your day happens, and it's a great opportunity to practice using a Variety of English expressions to describe your daily activities. So, after you finish your breakfast and get ready, you usually leave the house. You can start by saying, I leave home around 8 o'clock, or, I go to work at 7:30. If you use public transportation, you can describe it like this: I take the bus to work, or, I usually take the subway because it's faster. You might also say, I drive to work, or, I walk to school because it's close to my house. Try to make your sentences sound natural and specific. For example, I leave home at 8:15 and take the bus downtown. It usually takes about 30 minutes to get to the office, but if there's traffic, it can take longer. Adding time expressions like usually, sometimes, often, every day, or once in a while makes your speaking more fluent and realistic. You could say, sometimes I listen to music on the bus, or, I often scroll through social media during my commute. Once you arrive at work or school, you can describe how your day starts. For example, I usually arrive at the office around 9. The first thing I do is check my emails and messages. Or, when I get to school, I meet my friends and talk with them before class starts. You can use sequencing words to organize your ideas clearly. Words like first, then, after that, next, and finally. Here's an example. First, I say good morning to my coworkers. Then, I make a cup of coffee and check my to-do list. After that, I start working on my main tasks for the day. If you're a student, you can describe your classes. My first class starts at 9 a.m. It's usually math or English. I try to pay attention, but sometimes I feel sleepy if I didn't sleep well the night before. During class, I take notes and participate in discussions. You can also talk about your break times. For example, we usually have a short break at 10:30. I like to grab a snack or chat with my friends. Or, at work, we have a coffee break in the morning. I often use that time to relax a little or talk to my coworkers. Now let's move to lunchtime. You might say, I usually have lunch around noon. Depending on your situation, you could say, I eat lunch in the cafeteria, or, I bring my lunch from home. Try adding more details to make your speaking richer. For lunch, I often have rice and vegetables, or sometimes a sandwich if I'm in a hurry. I like to eat with my colleagues because we can talk and laugh together. It's a nice break from work. When describing your afternoon, focus on what kind of work or activities you do. You might say, in the afternoon, I usually have meetings or work on projects. Or if you're a student, in the afternoon, I have 2 more classes. I try to stay focused, but sometimes I get a bit tired. You can also include feelings and opinions to make your sentences sound more natural and personal. My favorite part of the day is when I finish a big task. It makes me feel proud and productive. I enjoy working in the afternoon because it's usually quieter and I can concentrate better. It's also helpful to talk about challenges or things that happen unexpectedly. For example, sometimes, I have too many emails to answer, and it gets stressful. Once in a while, there's a meeting that lasts too long, and I get a bit bored. Including expressions like once in a while, from time to time, or every now and then will make your English sound more natural and fluent. Let's look at an example of a complete paragraph. I leave home at 8 and take the subway to work. It takes about 40 minutes, so I usually listen to a podcast on the way. When I arrive, I greet my coworkers and make a cup of coffee. Then I check my emails and plan my day. I usually have a team meeting in the morning where we discuss our goals and Tasks. Around noon, I have lunch with my colleagues in the cafeteria. In the afternoon, I focus on my projects and try to finish everything before 5. Sometimes I have to stay late if there's a deadline, but I don't mind because I like what I do. See how natural that sounds. It's clear, structured, and full of useful details. You can adapt this to your own routine. If you're studying, working from home, or even taking care of family, just replace the activities with your own. For example, I take online classes in the morning, or I work from home, so I start my day by turning on my computer and checking my messages. The key is to make your speaking sound like a story, not just a list of actions. Add time expressions, feelings, and small details to make your description flow naturally. Practice saying your routine aloud, record yourself, and listen to how it sounds. This will help you improve your pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence in English speaking.